one of the important parameters I think is asking the right questions as well.
How do you identify that right question?
Once you are able to align your purpose and values with the organizational values and purpose, you're able to deliver better.
Welcome to the Next Level Conversations with Nilima. Having worked in HR for almost 8 years, I have a special place for HR in my heart. And if I see someone grow in that space, it definitely resonates with my growth. So today we have someone from that HR space at our show. Joining us today is Sneha Bajpai, Head of HR and Admin at Linde India. With over 20 years of experience in chemical, insurance, pharma, and telecom, Sneha is known for driving innovation in HR practices. She has built a stellar reputation for transforming HR practices and driving meaningful impact. Her diverse academic background, from psychology to marketing to HR, and her global exposure across India, UK, Asia Pacific, and the UAE definitely gives her an unique edge. She is passionate champion of performance management and employee engagement and inclusion, of course. And how can I miss? She's an amazing dancer as well. So we're thrilled to have her over here. Welcome, Sneha, to our show. I've been hearing a lot about your growth, and your growth is truly inspiring. So welcome once again to our show. Yeah. So, Sneha, you have worked in different domains of HR, worked with different people, and always have been around people and the employees working on their roles, their performance, everything. So, tell me, how can professionals, or how important is for professionals to manage or to align their core values, their purpose with their work? So, how important is that?
I think that's the center of it all, isn't it? I mean, wherever we go, as any organization that we choose, it has to align with your values at the basic level, isn't it? So, first of all, one has to deep dive within and see whether the alignment of your core values is in alignment with the organization or not. And definitely deep dive on your purpose as well. Maybe journal it, maybe just talk it out with experts around. Once you do that, I think it gives you a sense of goal that you really need to accomplish, especially so when you are in the mid career. I know you talked a lot about mid career professionals. So, and that is where you create a lot of visibility. Once you are able to align your purpose and values with the organizational values and purpose, you're able to deliver better. You're able to make a lot of impact with the organization also wants. And it aligns well because then you are authentic. You don't need to be someone else. And it just becomes that much more easier for you to climb the ladder and genuinely make a difference and an impact.
Sounds interesting. Yeah. So, Sneha, do you think mapping these values and your passion helps you build an executive presence? What are the key elements to build your executive presence in the corporate world, in your organization?
Oh, absolutely. I think, if we define executive presence in itself, what is executive presence? Executive is the it factor, right? As we call it. It's the it factor. You have to have amazing communication skills. You have to have the confidence. And you're ready to make an impact, drive the team, drive the vision. And of course, being presentable is one of the key elements as well. Now, if you look at your purpose, values, when are you able to make an impact? As I said earlier, if you're genuine, being authentic is another very, very important key element of maybe executive presence, right? So, since you're already aware of your values, since you're already aware of your purpose, and you know what impact you want to make, the confidence automatically comes, isn't it? I mean, you'll stand there and say that, hey, I know this topic, right? You'll raise your hand and say, I'm able to make an impact here. I'll be able to contribute. So if you're able to kind of merge these two things together, the executive presence automatically increases. you automatically are authentic as well as excellent in communication.
Right.
These two parameters are the key. Once you're able to, show that impact, I think it's there. You are there. You're already visible in the leadership team. So I think it's kind of an amalgamation of executive presence and values, core purpose, identifying together. It's like an amalgamation of making yourself felt.
Right. Yeah. I think
scenario
that
that
leads
makes
to your individual growth as well as the organizational
Absolutely.
growth, right?
It's mutual.
Right. So, Sneha, is it possible for you to share one personal experience or a moment which has elevated your executive presence throughout this 20 years?
There are many moments, but I can share this moment when I had recently joined this organization of, and I was one of the important parameters I think is asking the right questions as well.
Okay.
So I don't know. I made my global presence felt by asking those questions, and so that was one moment. The other moment was my head of HR, then head of HR, Raksha, who was. We had a meeting and we were. She was really upset about something, and she said that no one can contribute. Are you not able to contribute? I, being new, I just raised my hand. Maybe Raksha, I could help. It was a crisis situation, and we had to really resolve that. There were some vendor related issues, vendor not delivering, etc. So I just raised my hand and I said maybe I can do that because I've done this in the past, and with my consulting background as well, it helps me communicate better. So I just raised my hand, and thereon she started believing in me. So because I showed the confidence, her belief in me kind of accelerated. So that created visibility as a first impression, someone who's a new joiner, able to really stand up and say, I'll be able to do it. So I think that's one of the experiences that I can share.
I think the whole key to build up your presence or to make yourself visible is about communication, and what you rightly said is asking the right set of questions. I always keep telling my students where I teach communication, asking the right set of questions definitely makes an impact, and of course your first impression. So if it's just out of way question, like how do you identify that right question?
Oh, that's an amazing question, and really, what I think is you should have a challenging question for your team, especially when you are in a leadership position. Even if you are a mid-career person, right? You definitely have a team working with you, and you are at that horizon where you might step into the leadership role, right? So you have to ask thought-provoking questions to your team. You have to ask them challenging questions to your team. Challenge the intelligence that they have already.
Absolutely.
You know the strengths that they already have. Don't focus on the weaknesses, but on the strength,
Right.
and challenge them towards that. It's about pushing them to the edge and making them realize that they have it in them. So those kind of questions make a lot of difference.
Great. That's, I think, definitely useful for our audience. Sneha, I am into coaching. So many times professionals come to me telling that when they talk about their achievements or when they talk about their contributions, they come across as arrogant, they come across as boastful, or they come across as overconfident. So, what is that one way, or how can professionals effectively communicate their achievements in their professional setup?
Excellent question again, and it's so important when you're growing in the organization that you don't only reflect on yourself but your team. One of the key parameters is focus on the team and focus on the impact. Second parameter. Instead of talking about yourself, talk about the work that you are delivering. Say that, maybe put it in numbers. You could say that the team was able to deliver X% growth with Y% OP if you're in sales. If you're in HR, you would say the team was able to retain 90% of the high performers, and the diversity inclusion percentage increased so and so percent. So it's all about the numbers. You need not be boastful about yourself, and especially do not put down others when you're talking about your performance, because that's when it sounds unauthentic. And The third very important part about this is having gratitude and being humble. So while you are talking about your achievements, definitely express thanks to the team who has performed or the opportunity that you've got. So those are the important, really important parameters through which you can talk about your achievements and not be boastful at the same time.
I think many times we forget about the gratitude part which you mentioned, and I think that's the most important, because in the day or in our hustle lifestyle we forget this small thing which is actually very important and which makes other people also feel important. So yes, definitely gratitude plays, or sharing your gratitude with people who have made that difference with you, I think that really creates an impact in individual's life as well. Yeah. So Sneha, before we end, we have a quick round of rapid fire with you.
Exciting.
And it's nothing personal, it's about your work, it's about what you do day in and day out. So let's start.
All set.
Yeah. So leadership for you, learn or innate?
For me, learned.
Okay. Impact, measured by success or significance?
Significance.
Perfect. What's scarier, staying stuck or starting all over?
Staying stuck, definitely.
Yes. A cultural experience that shaped your perspective?
Oh, that's something. I've always experienced leaders who are very authentic, right? And that changed my perspective. I saw them having of the most difficult conversation inside their reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time coming out with a smile.
Wow.
So that changed a lot for me. They must be facing, as leaders, they must be facing at the highest level difficult situation.
True.
But when they're out there, their presence always gives you confidence.
Absolutely.
So that kind of culture, if you are able to have in an
Mhm,
organization, that changes everything.
True,
And
true.
that makes you aspire for it and also achieve it.
Interesting. So authenticity, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Diversity or inclusion, which is harder to achieve?
Inclusion. We can still have diversity, but inclusion is something that needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
You can have goals and say, I want to have X number of females, I want to
Mhm.
have X number of X percentage of
Mhm.
disability, disabled
Mhm.
professionals. I need to have X percentage of, say, LGBTQ community. But unless you have an inclusive community, you will not be able to survive. So inclusivity
True.
is absolutely
Absolutely.
important.
First thing to do in a new leadership role?
Get to know people.
Absolutely, yeah. What's the fastest way to boost credibility in a meeting room?
Ask the right question.
Okay, yes. Best lesson you learned from a younger colleague?
Adapting to technology.
Oh, wow. And I think it's the most important now. One last question. Coffee with a boomer or brainstorming with a Gen Z? What's your pick?
Oh, that's a difficult one. But definitely Gen Z, because
Absolutely.
they are the future and understanding them makes a lot of difference.
True, true.
Sometimes I feel the most misunderstood generation.
Absolutely. Confused and misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. That was great, Sneha.
Absolutely
It was
stunning
great.
for me as well.
Yeah, it was great having you over the show, and I'm sure our professionals are going to have great insights on every aspect, be it their presence, be it their leadership, everything. So thank you to
Thank
be
you for having me, Nilima. Really
thank-
pleasure to be
Thank
here.
you. Thank you so much. Yes.